Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Abe with MysticGenMara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I'd like to offer the elemental energy reading in the area of love and relationships for elemental energy of fire. Fire covers the zodiac signs of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So if you are Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or have fire high up in your chart, then this one is for you. And if you're curious as to why I read for the elements and not the zodiac, there's a link in the description for that. There's also a link down there to a natal chart if you've never had your charts read. It's a really fun experience. You got to look through what's kind of your baseline of who you are as a person. It's the base 12 houses and all the little signs and symbols, and then there's 10 to 20 pages of description of what all that means. Including an elemental alignment section, which is kind of fun. So with that, we'll get into our readings. How I like to do the relationship readings is we look at the energy for the singles first, and then we look at the energy for the couples. We'll take a peek at which chakra is lighting up, and all the decks that I use are linked in the description. Which chakra is lighting up for this upcoming month, and then we'll get some clarity from the tarot. And for our fire family, pretty sure we're in the root chakra for you, so there's some foundational base energy here. And the energy that's coming forward is, the card's name is Fear. It's number 6. And when we look at this card, it really is kind of terrifying because it's got like almost a Kali aspect where she's conquering the ego. And when you really delve into the Kali myth, she can be quite terrifying. But her energy is about destroying the illusion, tearing down the ego and bringing it back under submission where it belongs, and allowing you to actually be the authentic version of who you are. And the fear is basically the ego with its little talons pulled in there saying, no, you can't let me go, you can't put me down, no! But in reality, the ego's a tool. It needs to remember its place in life and go back there. So, from the book we have, the deity is Kali, and she is one of the many incarnations of the divine feminine energy, associated with what for most people is the biggest fear, which is death. Her tongue sticking out and her hair wild in disarray, she can look angry and appear demonic. At other times, she can also appear beautiful and shower her devotees with gifts of compassion. The sword she uses to sever the ego and destroy demons can inspire fear, protect against it, or dissolve fear altogether. Her mala of human skulls, which is a big necklace, kind of like a rosary, shows her disinterest in outside beauty and her absolute disdain for pride. So, fire, definitely make sure you're not being too, keep the arrogance under control this month. Keywords are lack of awareness, insecurity, fear, stress, getting caught in others' demands, shadows of deception. So, when we talk about the root chakra, we talk about the energy of foundation. This is your personal survival. This is not really a continuation of anyone else. This is you at your foundation. And there's this energy of... That's interesting. Sorry. It's saying that you're afraid of making the commitment because you don't want to lose or have death occur for yourself. And if you're getting into a relationship, it's not really that you're dying. You have to die to your old self, like you're not a college sorority or frat boy anymore. You're turning into an adult, and so that may shift a little this energy, and that could be some things you're dealing with this month, fire, is coming to the terms that, well, if I go into a relationship, this is what I have to do. And part of what that is do you have to, or is that what society tells you to do? Because you might find a gamer girl or a gamer boy that's just as, geeky or nerdy as you are, with like, oh, we can go play Magic the Gathering together, or whatever game it is you're into. That dates me a little bit, but it could be something along those lines, or it could be the fact that there's just a little bit of, I'm so much better than that. Are you now? I mean, we're all the same people. We all have 2 eyes, most of us, and we've got 2 hands, most of us. You got kind of all the same parts, so that's where that ego comes in, where Kali, in her most ferocious, will really drive down the point that the ego is the problem. But when she steps forward in her aspect of the Divine Mother, which is the Kali Ma aspect, she comes in to show you the truth. When she's in her warrior stage, she's there to destroy all illusions and rip things apart. But when she comes in as a mother, she's like, okay, that was necessary. This is why. So it's definitely this energy of there's some shifting going on, and it's really wanting to say, put the ego away. The concept of ego death is kind of a weird term because you don't really kill a part of yourself. But you do need to bring it back under control, because the ego carries all the arrogance. The ego carries all of the narcissism, if you will. The ego carries all the I'm better than thou energy. Okay, sometimes you need that, especially if you're in a leadership role. But just in relationships, that can be a problem. So it's reining it into where it's like, okay, now you're under control, and my true soul can step forward. And that's where Kali can come in and help you wrangle that character back into where it's supposed to be. So, your first tarot is the King of Air. Brilliant, impartial, professional, and diplomatic. Very aristocratic here. Speak your mind with confidence, seek out professional advice, balance mental and emotional considerations. When we look at the King of Air, this is someone who's already been through the trenches. So Fire, you may have already went through some of these emotional ups and downs, and your way of defending against it was to put on these airs of, I don't need this, I'm better than that. Okay, well, that might have been a defense mechanism at the time, but now the ego's running with it. So it's time to rein that in. But it also could be the fact that you're coming to the understanding that you can be the unique, odd weirdo that you are, because let me be honest here, we all are, and you are going to attract the right person. And the death in that aspect of this fear concept is you're afraid that if you reveal that weirdo self of yours, you're going to chase people away. Well, you might chase a couple away, but you're going to draw the right one to you. If you're looking for a deepening or taking a relationship or just even building a new friend group, sometimes you have to let yourself be yourself. But when the ego's involved, there's this energy of, oh, you can't show them that. That's shameful, or don't be embarrassing. That's the ego. Put that away. Because when you really step out in your authentic self, the right people are going to love you no matter what. And that's not an untrue statement. I've had some interesting conversations lately. Your second your second card is the Queen of Air. Independent, experienced, realistic, and witty. Objective decision-making, clearing away all that no longer serves, seeing the humor in a situation. Fire. Singles. You have a husband-wife couple going on here. You have two energies coming together, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, coming forward to say your foundation, which is your root chakra, is actually really strong and really stable. Now it's time for you to step out and understand that you don't need the approval from other people. It's nice, but you don't need it. You also are in the position now where you get to be your authentic self. Even if you've never had the opportunity, or you've always been told, oh, don't do that. The energy that's coming in right now is this is your permission, if you will, to be authentically who you are at your core, Earth or Fire singles. So really focus on what it is that makes you unique. Don't worry so much about what other people think, because everyone's going to have their own opinion. But getting into that mindset of, actually, you know what? This is actually fun. This is who I am. I enjoy this stuff. It's a fun hobby. Some people make money doing it. Otherwise, it's just a hobby. That's fine. Your hobbies can involve a partner, or it can just be something you and your friends do, and your partner's like, have fun, I'm going to sit at home and watch a movie. Or they're going to go do their stuff with their friends. If you're single and looking for a relationship, this is the mindset to start working towards, is it's okay if I have this weird little quirk, because it doesn't matter in the grand scheme. If that person likes me for the core of who I am, the foundational aspects, then that hobby is just a hobby and they're okay with it. And that's what they're wanting to bring forward, Fire, is this is a good time to kind of check in with yourself. See where you're at as far as, is there something bothering you? Is there something in the way? When you have Kali come forward, this is just from personal experience, don't ask for her help if you're not ready to hear what she has to say, because you're going to hear it point blank blunt, and it might just rock your world a little bit. So with that, we'll hop over to our Fire couples. Before we hop into that reading, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts about the cards. If you're seeing something different with the cards, feel free to drop that in the comments down below as well. And with the couples, you could be reading for yourself in a relationship. Your partner could be the fire, you could be cross-watching, or you could just have both of you have fire in your charts. So it's however that shows up for you. I believe this is going to be the sacral chakra, but we'll check in the book here in a second. And it's number 11, explore. Fire couples. There's definitely an energy coming in of getting to know each other at a deeper level, exploring your connection to one another, and exploring how you fit into this world. The world is not as simple as, well, we've already done everything, we're done now, we're bored. No, that's not true. It could be exploring each other, or it could be exploring outdoors. Have you went camping? Have you taken a trip to Italy? Have you climbed the Alps? Have you went to the Grand Canyon? Have you went to Yellowstone? Might not do that right now, it's a little sketch, geologically speaking. What is it that you haven't explored? And how long, like, the longer you're together, the more interesting your explorations can become too. So this is your call to look into each other and see what you didn't understand about the other person, first of all, and explore that. Get into a connection with each other. Do some couples meditation, things like that, where you're like reconnecting. There's always something new to learn about a person. There's always something more to love about a person. And the energy that's coming up right now is this is the greatest opportunity you have to explore how that connection works for each of you, and also how you can explore the world around you with new eyes, because you're looking at everything more like you are back to being that Twitter-pated in love, that honeymoon period. Because when you're in that state, everything's beautiful. So let's take a peek here. We are in our second chakra, which is the sacral chakra, which is your second chakra, if I could talk. And the deity here is Varuna. This is a lord of rivers, lakes, oceans, emotions, and bestows the wisdom of navigating through the unknown depths of watery concerns. That's where you get to know the other person even better. There's not a lot about that one here. So our keywords are sensuality, flirtation, we already talked about that, and physical attraction, being tossed on the seas of love, lust, desire for intimacy, discerning sexual boundaries, and awakening desires and becoming an intuitive channel. So when we really look at that kind of energy, the sacral chakra is about your first realization of the outside world. If we go up the chakras, it's also your connection to the outside world and the urge to continue your genetic lineage. That's where a lot of the sexual energy is stored, and it's about 2 finger widths below your belly button and about 3 to 4 in. So that's where the sacral chakra sits, depending on who you talk to. But that's where it is just below the belly button. And when we look at it in that aspect, the exploration is exploring each other and exploring the world together. Sometimes you may have done something, whoever's watching, like the fire person watching, that you've almost become bored with, but your partner hasn't seen it. That's where going camping for the first time can be entertaining, because it could be a little scary that first night in a tent or whatever, but it's also fun. Going to the Grand Canyon, if one of you has already been there and the other one hasn't, you get to watch and explore their eyes, their face, feel the rush when they walk up to the edge. Like, there's a lot of different ways you can explore life, and this is just a reminder that you're in a beautiful position because you're already in the connection. You've found your other part, your partner. Therefore, you get to have the fun of exploring with the partner, and you get to explore the partner. So it's a win-win all the way around. And so our tarot, we're starting off with number 15, the ego, with Archangel Jophiel. A false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thinking. Jophiel is really wanting just to remind you that it's not necessary to worry about all the other things. Do fun things because they're fun. Really connect and explore. Well, you enjoy going for a hike. Well, your partner enjoys sitting by the stream. Okay, well, explore each other's worlds. One person likes to do arts and crafts, the other one likes to work on cars. Have you explored that with each other? It doesn't mean you have to stay there. Don't get me wrong. You do not have to work on cars, or you don't have to do arts and crafts. but you can explore it with them and kind of learn more about the other person, like what makes them tick. They might be someone who is really klutzy and almost slob-like in other parts of their life, but when you see them working on a vehicle, they're orderly, they're clean, they're meticulous, and you're like, now wait a minute, where'd that come from? It's because that's what drives them. That's a passion. And then you can explore with them on that level. That doesn't mean you have to fix vehicles with them, but you get to watch that person really get into what they like. Same thing with arts and crafts. If your partner is a painter and you're like, oh, what? Like, you love the person, but you don't get that, sit with them. Watch the look on their face. Listen to how they talk. Sometimes they sing when they paint. And it's not even words. It's just watch what they're doing and explore that with them. It's going to bond you a lot closer. Don't be annoying with it, but definitely try this connecting with each other out and find your sense of humor when you do this, because guaranteed you're going to find reasons to laugh about everything. Because when you play around with that, you start getting into that fun side of life again where your inner child pops up, which is liberation. And that really helps just free you, where you're like, this is fun and I love you even more. So your second card is the Seven of Air, which is plans that need revision, more going on than meets the eye, and poor timing. So if there's something big that's shifting right now, this is not the time to explore the more exotic things in life. But if it's just you and your partner, definitely get into that energy of connecting with each other, because you can still do that even when the outside world's like, oh, doom and gloom. Okay, well, we'll deal with that tomorrow. You're with your partner. And the Seven of Air is saying there might be some things that need to shift around a little bit just because life happens, and that's fine. That's where you have to remember that spontaneity going along with it. And more going on than meets the eye, there usually is. This is just a reminder, don't let those distractions take away from the exploration within the relationship. The energy that I just keep getting forward is fire. You have this most beautiful opportunity right now to really take your relationship, explore it, take it to the next level even. Take it deeper. Really remember the spark and then find out more about that spark. So it's a way to really deepen the relationship. And with the sacral chakra, it's really about the connecting with your partner in an intimate way. Because really, when we look at where the sacral chakra sits, it's very close to genital connection. Therefore, that is a huge aspect with this chakra. And that's something you can explore as well, is really just get to know your partner. Yeah, that's all they're bringing forward right now. So with that, I will let you all go. Have a great rest of your week and month of October, and I will see you in the next video. And have a lot of fun out there, Fire. You've got a lot of options here, so